Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris, and we are gathered here tonight for some hot seat head-to-head action. We got Mike taking on a virgin tonight, and it's going to be a fun one. Let's start off by meeting him. Mr. Mike Mott, how you doing, my friend, and what are you drinking?
Chris, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a crazy night trying to get the kids down. We were talking just before you hit record about they're in that overtired state where they should collapse, but instead they're like running on pure adrenaline, and the levels are just so high that they resist. And it's been fun. So shout out to my wife, who of course is definitely eligible for sainthood, not just for putting up with me, but for also helping out with that. As far as what I am drinking, it's actually been a while since I've featured this company on here, but I found some more of their beers when I was on my most recent beer run. It's the Maine Beer Company, and all of their, or it's like so X amount of proceeds. I was trying to find it on the label because I can't find it, but X amount of proceeds go to like land and water preservation and stuff like that. So, and this is the Woods and Waters India Pale Ale. See if I can. There you go. It's a bottle, so it doesn't get that really nice pop, but
that looks like the size of a wine bottle, Mike.
It's a big honking thing. I think it's still how does it come out to? It's 1 pint and 9 fluid ounces. So this will carry me through. I'm looking forward to it. And this is really tasty too.
All right, we're gonna head on over to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ian Belovich, my friend, how you doing? What are you drinking? And welcome to the Pub Trivia Experience.
Hey, Chris, how's it going? I'm doing well. You said Mike was taking on a virgin today. I was worried he was playing a solo game, but I'm here. I'm glad I can join in. Sorry, Mike, I'm already throwing blows at you, but
we're talking about our kids right before the show, and then Chris is like, "You're taking on our virgin." I'm like, we're literally just talking about our kids.
Well, just like you,
the PTE version is what I meant. I didn't.
Gotcha. Well, I'm on the same page. Well, I'm doing well. I'm just like you guys. I'm ready to pop a bottle. I know Chris loves to malign Oklahoma, so I brought an Oklahoma beer here. This is the 2025 version of Fooder Gold from American Solera in Tulsa. It is a sour golden ale aged in oak tanks. Let's see if I can get anything on this pop here. Not much. But hey, it's pouring.
Yeah. Sounded better than mine.
I'm jealous. I wish I could have sours. I really do. I love sours.
I wish I was into sours because I feel like if I enjoyed sours, there's so many good ones, but I always bypass it.
This is a great beer to get into if you think you don't like sours. It's really a light farmhouse ale with just a touch of acidity to it. Not even tart, really. This is a great table beer, something you can have with dinner. Good all-around beer, and they make some good stuff.
Nice.
It sounds delightful, I'm not going to lie. I am actually not drinking tonight. I have mentioned earlier, before we started recording, I've had a week, and it culminated last night with our exec taking us out. So I'm going to give a local company a shout-out here because they make what I will say is one of the best drinks I've ever had. Mike, you've been there, I think, Eulalie. Downtown Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
It is like the hot spot in Tampa. It's wonderful food. The fried pork or the crackling pork shank is amazing. But they make a drink, and I don't drink tequila, but they make a tequila old fashioned that is to die for. It is wonderful, and those flavors mix really well. And then I'll also give a shout out here. Last night I finished off a bag, but I love it. There's a local place down here in Dunedin called Harley's. Harley's is a gourmet popcorn company, and Leah and I went last weekend. We each got us a little bag, and we kind of been snacking that throughout the last couple of weeks. And I finished mine last night. It is a smoked maple bacon popcorn made with real bacon bits. And
oh my gosh,
this place has, I think the guy told me, 52 flavors, and they flip them every month. So every month there's like 12 new flavors hitting, and they'll do special batches and trial batches. It's awesome, and it's all reasonably priced right there in the heart of Dunedin. So check that out if you're in the area. But we are going to get started. We're going to jump right into our pregame. Ian, we're going to ask you here, for our pregame, do you want odds or evens?
Well, I know you guys are pretty odd, so I'll take the evens.
Truth.
Oh Lord, that's not. Yeah, that's actually pretty dead on balls accurate. So
It's an industry term.
it is. Well, speaking of dead on balls accurate in industry terms, your category is going to be movies, specifically
Nice.
movies from 2025. And we're going to kick it back to how the hot seat first started. This is going to be our usual fresh or rotten game. So, for those that don't know, Rotten Tomatoes is a movie aggregate website that will certify films fresh or rotten dependent on what critics say. If 60% of the critics give the movie a favorable review, that movie is certified fresh. Sub 60% is a rotten score. I'm going to give you the name of a movie that came out this year. All you have to tell me, was this movie certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes? Mike, we're going to start with you with the odds. The first movie, Paddington in Peru.
Well, because I have absolutely set foot in a movie theater this year, this should be a slam dunk round for me. Now I'm literally trying to think if I've even seen a movie this year. Captain America. I was going to say Captain America: Brave New World's probably the only one. Paddington. The Paddington movies always do well. I really want to get around to actually seeing them at some point, but I feel like I know Paddington 2 was like 100%. So I can't believe Paddington 3 would have been that much of a drop off. I'm going to say fresh.
It is fresh, 93%. All right, Ian, we're going over to you. Your movie is a Minecraft movie.
God, didn't even know that was a thing. It
actually releases on Friday.
Yep.
So
okay.
Critics just had their embargo release on Tuesday, so yeah, go ahead.
I would imagine, much like the long history of horrible pop culture movies turned into quick box office. I don't even know what you'd call that category. I'm going to say grab. It's rotten. It's rotten. It's got to be.
A Minecraft movie is clocking in at 53%. Yeah. It is rotten. Nicely done.
Yep.
All right, Mike, moving over to you. Your movie is Black Bag.
Black Bag. Yes, I have absolutely heard of this movie. I'm not tapped in the way I used to be, man. I got, unless it's a kid's movie, and even then, Black Bag. But given that I haven't heard of it, I'm just going to guess that it's rotten.
Black Bag is the newest Steven Soderbergh movie.
Oh shit, I love Soderbergh.
Fresh at 96%.
Yeah, if I'd known it was Soderbergh, I would have gone way different. I thought for some reason I thought he was like not doing theatrical releases anymore. Anyway.
So this movie also clocks in. I really want to see it, but because it clocks in at 90 minutes. It's like 90 minutes long, and I'm like, oh, that's a movie I can get involved in. Let's go. An hour and a half.
Exactly. Oh. Normalize the sub 2 hour movie again, please.
Preach.
All right, Ian. Question number 4 goes to you. Your movie is A Working Man.
A Working Man. This might as well be free association to me at this point, but A Working Man, that sounds like it's got to be fresh, Chris.
A Working Man. I'm not giving you any information on it until you give me an answer, because A Working Man is the latest Jason Statham movie.
Nah.
Then it's fresh.
It is rotten.
Right. I don't know, Jason. I love Jason Statham movies, but I don't know if he's ever had a fresh movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, come on. Only
Snatch?
If it involves bees. Yeah,
I was literally about to say, except maybe Snatch.
I think it's David Ayer that did it too. Yeah, David Ayer. So a good director involved.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, we're heading back over to you. Your movie is Death of a Unicorn.
Death of a Unicorn. I feel like I have at least vaguely heard of this one, but I don't have any context. So it just sounds like something that the critics would like. I don't really know why I'm thinking that, but I'll say fresh.
Death of a Unicorn is a movie that stars Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, and in the first opening scene of the movie, they accidentally kill a unicorn. It is rotten. 54%. All right, we're gonna get better at this game. I swear to God. Ian, we're heading over to you. Your movie is Mickey 17.
Okay, I have at least heard of this one. I think it's a Robert Pattinson movie. I think, God, it's got to be straddling the border. I'm going to say it's barely fresh.
It is fresh, not barely, 78%. This movie is Bong Joon-ho's follow-up to Parasite, which won Best Picture. So, Ian, you have your second point on the board. Mike, heading over to you. Your movie is Novocaine.
Novocaine. Again, another one that I've heard of vaguely, but know nothing about. Like, I recognize the title, like that this is a movie that it exists. I'm just gonna say Rotten though.
Novocaine is an action movie starring Jack Quaid, who's Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son, I believe.
Yeah.
Fresh, 82%.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, so we got an action movie on there that is certified fresh. Heading over, Ian, we're going to go over to you. Your movie is The Monkey.
Okay. I've heard of this. I know nothing of it. I'm going to say it's fresh.
The Monkey is a horror movie. It is about a killer toy monkey. And it is fresh at 79%.
I feel like if you hear a lot about it, it's either got to be really fresh or really rotten.
Yep.
It actually looks very interesting because it's like they came across this toy monkey that has symbols and bangs them together as kids, and then I think it like killed their parents, and then it magically shows up at their house one day. It looks. I have not seen it. It looked dumb as hell, and the reviews for it say it's amazing. Mike, your movie is Mufasa the Lion King.
Not only have I heard of this one, I actually saw it before it came to theaters because they were doing a preview on our Disney cruise last year. So, having seen it, I really hope it's not fresh because it's not good. I'm going to guess rotten.
Mufasa the Lion King is rotten, 56%.
How dare they malign the mouse?
You know what the sin of that is, Mike, is that the director of Mufasa the Lion King is Barry Jenkins.
The talent is there. It's just, I don't know. The story that they chose to tell was weird, and the soundtrack was completely I'm sorry, but it was completely unmemorable. The songs weren't bad, but I didn't walk out singing any of them.
It's a story that did not need to be told.
Exactly.
No one wanted a prequel to Hamlet, okay?
But Hamlet 2 was amazing.
Yes. Rock me,
sexy Jesus. Yep.
Ian, we're going over to you. The last movie on the episode, Captain America: Brave New World.
Okay. I'm gonna say, are the critics in line? Would they still support? I don't know. I'll say it's fresh.
Unfortunately, not. Captain America: Brave New World, 48%. It is rotten.
Ouch.
By the way, like of the movies in the MCU, it should not be that low. It's fine. It's perfect. It's a decent film.
There's other MCU films that probably deserve to be below it.
I don't think I have seen an MCU film since Avengers Endgame. It's been a while. I just kind of gave up. Now there's too many. It's too much to consume. I don't have the time span or attention
Endgame's
span.
a good one to go out on.
That's a good one to go out on. I'll give you that. Well, Mike, you are currently trailing. It's 3-2 in favor of Ian, which means in hot seat round 1, you get to choose first or second.
Well, I feel like I always choose first when given the opportunity. And that's not going to change now. I'll go first.
All right. Ian, you're going to go second. You will get a chance if there's an uneven number of questions to even the score. Mike, you're going to go first. Your time will begin after I read your first question. Here we go. Mike, what U.S. state has the most lighthouses despite the state not having a body of water that wow. See, there's the reason we do it after. What U.S. state has the most lighthouses despite not having a saltwater border?
Michigan?
Michigan's a correct answer.
I
Ian,
didn't know that. That's cool.
what craze still used by kids on playgrounds all over the world sold over 25 million units in the first 4 months back in 1958?
What craze? Would that be the hula hoop craze?
Alvin and the Chipmunks got it right. Hula hoop is correct. Mike, set in France, what Disney animated film features a quick cameo of Belle from Beauty and the Beast?
I had Beauty and the Beast locked in. Set in France. What Disney film? What's another Disney film set in France? I can think. I mean, technically, I think Pixar was Disney by that time. I'll just say Ratatouille.
Unfortunately, not looking Disney proper. The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about that one.
Ian, who won the Super Bowl in 1988 with Doug Williams at quarterback?
Would that be the former Washington football team? Or I guess the Washington Redskins, as they were?
Washington Redskins, Washington football team, or Commanders is a correct answer. Mike is regretting going first now.
The Durs.
Mike, what is the name of the song that Queen Elsa sings as she builds her ice castle in the film Frozen?
I have $2. There's no way I'm not getting this one. It's Let It Go. I said that, and then I almost started drawing a blank as to what the song was.
Which, by the way, is something she should actually do.
Indeed.
Ian, what famous music group was formerly known as the New Yardbirds?
The New Yardbirds. Let's see. I'm going to go with... something Clapton related, something, I don't know. I'll just say... No clue. I'll say Led Zeppelin.
It is Led Zeppelin.
I know this
the
is
only
an audio
members that I think I see Mike gesturing behind him.
I just want to set the stage. The last two answers have been that Ian has had have been the Washington team formerly known as what they were known as, and Led Zeppelin. And over my right shoulder is a vintage Washington banner and Led Zeppelin's first 4 albums hanging on the wall.
They legitimately are.
I'm not even kidding. Like, this is when I heard that second question,
right,
I'm like, really back to back?
Now we need a Simpsons beer question coming up.
Exactly.
We're going to go with something close to that, Mike. Mike, at the 1976 Olympics, the 14-year-old gymnast Nadia wow, I know her name too, and I can't even say it. Nadia Comaneci scored the first perfect 10 ever on the uneven bars. What Eastern European country was she from?
Jeez. Romania?
Romania is correct. I'm just glad you don't have there's no pictures behind you of like gymnasts.
Yeah, that would be bad. Yeah.
Ian, we're going over to you. Name the sculptor who created the sculpture Family Group in 1950. The artist's first large-scale commission post-World War II.
I've got no clue about modern sculptors. I'll say Calder.
Unfortunately, Henry Moore is what we're looking for. Mike, what 1988 book by Salman Rushdie is considered blasphemous in many Muslim countries?
It's actually a really good book. So the Satanic Verses.
The Satanic Verses is correct. Ian, who originated the role of Captain James T. Kirk in the original sci-fi television series Star Trek?
Wow. Why am I blanking on Shatner? William Shatner.
Shatner.
William Shatner. Can't believe he's still alive.
I'd fight William Shatner.
Mike, What ancient civilization built the city of Carthage?
Can I say the Carthaginians?
No.
Damn. I always get my ancient civilizations mixed up. Babylonians.
The Phoenicians of, is it Tyre or Tyre? I think.
It's Tyre, Phoenicians. Yeah, I had thought about them too.
All right, Ian, heading over to you. Which U.S. lake fills the collapsed caldera of the volcano Mount Mazama?
I think that's Crater Lake.
That is Crater Lake. Mike, which sea animal is 95% water?
The jellyfish.
Jellyfish is correct. Ian, whose 1984 debut single was Girls Just Wanna Have Fun?
Come on, I know this. Hold on. Oh, come on, Ian.
I think it's Come On, Eileen.
Different group though.
Sorry.
Not the same time though.
I'm blanking. Come on. I can't get Pat Benatar out of my head, but I know it's not her. God, come on. I'll just say Pat Benatar to move us along.
No, it's Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper, God. That...
Dude, toddlers do a number on the recall, man. They really do.
Mike, MCA, Mike D, and Ad Rock are the three members that founded what hip-hop group?
Beastie Boys.
Oh, Mom, you're just jealous. That is correct. Ian, what was the name of the Wonder Horse owned by singer and actor Gene Autry?
Okay, here's another one that gets flipped in my mind. I think it's Trigger.
No, it's Champion. Trigger was a question that we had previously.
Who owns Trigger?
Is that Roy Rogers?
I believe that was Roy Rogers.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Champion.
All right, Mike, we're heading over to you next. Who starred as Lucy Ricardo in the sitcom I Love Lucy?
Can I just say Lucy? No, I'm just kidding. Lucille Ball.
Lucille Ball is correct. Ian, what is the name of the Italian cow milk cheese made from mozzarella and cream?
Burrata.
Burrata is correct. Nicely done. Mike, what was the name of the Carthaginian... Wow, it's been a day. What was the name of the Carthaginian general who crossed the Alps on war elephants? It's been a fucking day, okay?
I'm just laughing because I mean, at least I know this is Hannibal, but I'm like, another Carthage question. What the fuck?
But who founded his hometown?
Good question.
Hannibal is the correct answer. Ian, we're going to go to you next. What city in Ohio, just over the river from Kentucky, had the first ambulance service in the U.S. back in 1865?
I guess that would be Cincinnati.
Cincinnati is a correct answer.
Probably from eating chili.
Yep.
That's not chili.
sweet chili, just like my mama made it.
Mike. All right.
Want to be starting something? Do you want to be starting?
I do. Mike, what pop artist recorded the hit song Tonight, Tonight?
What pop artist recorded the hit song Tonight, Tonight? There's Tonight, Tonight by the Smashing Pumpkins and Tonight, Tonight, Tonight by Phil Collins. Phil Collins is more of a pop artist, but the Smashing Pumpkins have Tonight, Tonight, so it's probably neither one. I'm just going to say Phil Collins.
No, that'd be Hot Shell Ray.
Sure.
All right, heading over here to Ian. Ian, what is the name of the field event where athletes throw a heavy metal ball as far as they possibly can?
If it's just the ball, I'm going to say shot put.
Shot put is correct. Mike, what country is Florentine steak from?
Italy.
It is from Italy. Some of them are that easy, gentlemen.
You just never know. You're always like, is this a trick question?
Ian, there was a very famous singer who was John Lennon's hero, but John was disappointed when they finally met. Who was that singer?
I know I've heard this. I've got nothing coming to me. I'm gonna pass.
Be Elvis Presley.
Wow, fitting that I'm here.
Yep.
Here in Memphis, the land of Elvis.
I just built you out of Tulsa.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna ruin the illusion.
Mike, by definition, what shape is a gable roof?
Triangular?
Triangular is correct. Ian, within 3 years, name the event this took place. The first Starbucks coffee shop outside of Seattle are opened.
Within 3 years. Okay, so I want to say it was founded in the 70s, early 80s. I don't think until the 90s it left Seattle. I'll say 1991.
Oh, just outside 3 years, 1987.
Ouch.
Mike, Taylor Swift's fourth studio album, released in 2012, was named after what color?
I was sitting here, I was already counting, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that was red, and then you gave me the color, so red.
Red is correct. Although I am colorblind, so green would have been an acceptable answer.
Indeed. That was an REM album, though.
Oh, my Lord. Ian, who was the United Kingdom's longest-serving female prime minister?
Female prime minister. Okay, well, that makes it easy. I'll go with Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher is correct.
It wasn't Liz Truss?
It's not Liz Truss, yeah. I think the lettuce served longer
The
than
lettuce
her.
made it longer, yep.
Mike, within 3 either way, how many moons does Neptune have?
Oh, man. See, the problem is we keep discovering so much more shit, and it makes all the stuff that I learned when I was a kid no longer relevant. I want to say Neptune's somewhere around 18.
14, actually.
Oh, so close. Damn. Another off by 1 or off by 4 instead of, and you had 3.
All right, Ian. What American political activist co-founded the Youth International Party in 1967?
What American political activist? Can you say the name one more time?
The Youth International Party.
The YIP. Okay. Gosh. Well, it wasn't MLK. It wasn't Malcolm X. Gosh. No clue. I'll say Al Sharpton.
Not a bad guess. Abby Hoffman is what we're looking for. Mike,
I was between him and Timothy Leary. So,
Mike, what is the center of an atom called?
the nucleus.
Nucleus is correct. Ian, what singer is the quote-unquote so-called Prince of Darkness?
I'm going to go with Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne's correct. Mike,
Sharon!
Mike, what decade was the Vietnam Veterans Memorial dedicated in Washington, D.C.?
I want to say it was late 80s. I'll say 80s.
80s is correct, but it was actually 1982.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Ian, this will be the last question of the round as our timer is about to go off. I'm going to go ahead and clear it now. Ian, famed caricaturist Al Hirschfeld designed the album cover for what band's 1977 album, Draw the Line?
What was his profession, you said?
Caricaturist.
77 album. Draw the Line. I'm going to say... Gosh. I'm going to guess... I think that's an Aerosmith album. I'm going to lock in with that.
Aerosmith is a correct answer. Nicely done.
Nice job.
Do you have one of those on your wall, Mike?
No. No, I might have one of there might be among that vinyl collection off to my side, though. I don't actually. I inherited a bunch of vinyl from various people, or took it off their hands, I should say. So I don't even know what all's over there.
All right. Well, with that, Mike, coming out of hot seat round 1, you're going to pick up 13 points. Ian, you're picking up 11, which means our scores right now:
tight game,
15-14. Mike, you now have a 1-point lead, and it's time for our halftime round.
Whoop whoop.
It's really sad when you're the only one that does it. One of the most recent EGOT winners, well, actually two, is songwriting duo Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. They officially became EGOT winners last year. I will tell you, they won those awards for La La Land, Dear Evan Hansen, and Only Murderers in the Building. I want you to put those awards in order from earliest to latest based on when they won the award.
What were the three again?
La La Land, Dear Evan Hansen, Only Murderers in the Building. From earliest to latest, put those 4 awards in order based on when they won each of the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony.
Okay, I'm locked in.
Where I'm struggling is which one was the Grammy? And would there have been like a gap? But yeah, I'm gonna say Dear Evan Hansen came first, La La Land came second, and Only Murders came third. We're gonna say Tony, Grammy, Oscar, Emmy.
Ian, what'd you go with?
Okay, similar. I said Tony, Oscar, Grammy, Emmy.
All right. Well, the first of those awards was won in the year 2017.
We're wrong.
Yep.
When it won Best Original Song, City of Stars from La La Land.
Yep. I thought Dear Evan Hansen was before that. Interesting.
Me too.
Also in 2017 in June, they won the Tony for Best Original Score for Dear Evan Hansen. In 2018, they won their Grammy, Best Musical Theater Album, also for Dear Evan Hansen. And then just last year, for their song, Which of the Pickwick Triplets Did It? Wow, I can't say that. That's even harder to sing. Which of the Pickwick Triplets Did It? For Only Murderers in the Building, they won a Creative Arts Emmy, giving them an EGOT.
Which of the Pickwick Triplets
did it? Who from the crew committed this crime? I had that stuck in my head for a solid couple weeks.
So that is Oscar, followed by the Tony, the Grammy, and the Emmy. I have Tony. There you go. Ian picking up 10 points. Mike, you're going to pick up 5.
Yep. Nicely done.
24-20 is our score going into hot seat round 2. Mike, you're now trailing. Same goes over to you, first or second?
I will stick with first.
Stick with first. You're trailing by 4. 15 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Mike, Mel Blanc and Beatrix Potter likely know this, but what type of animal is a Flemish giant?
Rabbit.
It is a rabbit. Ian, what is the only major from tennis that's played on clay?
The only major? That would be the French Open.
French Open is correct. Mike, 2 cows make 'em cry is diner slang for an order of 2 hamburgers topped with what?
2 cows make 'em cry, topped with onions.
Onions is correct. I didn't say they were good trivia questions.
Oh no! Are you kidding me? That's fantastic. I'm going to start ordering things that way.
I guess that's better than veal on top of them.
Yeah,
that's 2 baby cows make them.
That's why they're crying.
Yeah. Ian, Mary Weiss is a pop music vocalist best known as the lead singer of which 1960s girl group?
Mary Weiss. Let's see. No clue. I'm going to say the Pointer Sisters.
Not a bad guess. It'd be the Shangri-Las. Mike, this type of K This type of cake actually has nothing to do with the country its name suggests. It's just the last name of the man who invented baking chocolate.
The German chocolate cake?
German chocolate cake is correct. Ian, what is the name of the rock band behind the theme songs for Nickelodeon's Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and Disney's Phineas and Ferb?
Ooh. Is that Bowling for Soup?
You're going to hit the wall when you hear it. Bowling for Soup is a correct answer. Mike, the most Oscars ever won by an individual is 22. The most nominations ever received by an individual is 59. Who has both of those records?
Walt Disney.
Walt Disney is correct. Ian, what is the name of the open source operating system created by Linus Torvald?
Would that be Linux?
That would be Linux. Mike.
Gonna need you to start missing some, Ian.
Mike, what member of Iron Maiden is also a qualified jumbo jet pilot?
Bruce Dickinson?
Bruce Dickinson's a correct answer. Ian, what Icelandic singer told us all to shh back in 1995?
That has to be Bjork.
Bjork is correct. Mike, National Sleet, National Sporting, and Automatic Ball Trap are all disciplines in which recreational sport?
National Sleet, National Sport. Skiing?
No, that'd be clay target shooting.
Ah, okay.
Ian, how many months were there in the Roman calendar?
I think December was the last one. Gonna say 10 unless this is a trick.
Nope, 10 is a correct answer. There was, I believe, no July, no August, right?
Right.
Yep.
All right, Mike. What Asian country do sinologists study?
Can you spell sinologist for me?
Sinologists. Might be sinologists. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I don't know why I asked for the spelling. It wasn't really going to help me per se. What Asian country you said? Japan. I have no idea.
No, it is the academic study of China.
Ah.
Ian, the love interest in The Great Gatsby was given what flowery name?
Well, her name was Daisy. I don't know if you're asking for a nickname, but I'll say Daisy.
Daisy is a correct answer. Daisy Buchanan to be exact. Mike, what is the name of the training exercise in Star Trek that places cadets in a no-win scenario?
Kobayashi Maru.
Kobayashi Maru is correct. Ian, of which 1990s boy band was Justin Timberlake a founding member?
NSYNC.
He's not kissing that lead. Bye, bye, bye. NSYNC is a correct answer. Mike, since 1988, the brand AccuView has billed itself as introducing the world's first disposable what?
Contact lenses.
Contact lenses is correct.
I'm wearing them right now.
Ian, in which century did the Gutenberg press introduce removable type, which made mass communication possible?
That would be the 1400s.
1400s, 15th century
15th
is
century.
correct. Mike, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse are all sadly members of what club?
The 27 Club.
27 Club is correct. Ian, who popularized the notion that the Earth revolved around the sun?
Well, I'm assuming you're looking for the white person who did it. I'm going to say Copernicus.
Copernicus. You're not wrong there, and Copernicus is correct. Mike, what is Starbucks' trademarked brand for their line of iced blended coffee drinks that they introduced in 1995?
Frappuccino?
Frappuccino is correct. Ian, within 3 years either way, in what year was the first Harry Potter book released?
Ooh, I think 1990. I'll say 8 to be safe.
That is safe. 97 is what we're looking for there. Mike, what's the word for an online journal or personal website that first appeared in 1994?
A blog?
Blog is the correct answer. Ian, once included in its country's name, the word Soviet actually means what in Russian?
Peoples?
No, it actually means council.
Mm.
Mike, what kind of animal is Mr. Winkle of MrWinkle.com fame?
Okay. A llama.
No, Mr. Winkle's a dog.
Oh, okay.
All right, Ian. Which scientist was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1911 for the discovery of radioactive elements radium and polonium?
Be Marie Curie.
Marie Curie is correct. Mike, a nod to a famous horse race, what U.S. state uses the slogan Unbridled Spirit to market itself to visitors?
Kentucky?
Kentucky's correct. Ian, in what decade did child labor laws start in the United States?
Start. Okay. I'm going to guess they were probably pretty close to a lot of our other social reforms. So I'll say the 1900s.
No, unfortunately, 1930s, 1938 specifically. Which, fun
Well,
fact,
that's
Florida, they're trying to roll those back now. Hey, Mike.
well. I mean, we need those small hands for something.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Who's going to build the Teslas?
It's a valid point. Mike, what is the
Artificial intelligence, of course. Sorry, anyway.
what is the first name of the blues guitar legend B.B. King? Was it Aaron, Bernard, or Riley?
I don't know. Riley's tickling something, so that's what I'm gonna say.
It's tickling the right answer. Riley is correct. Ian, the Clare Jug is the prize for winning a specific British-based tournament in what sport?
Golf.
It is golf.
I think it's called a game, not a sport, but we'll leave that for another time.
There's a boozy topic. Mike,
Indeed.
which company owns Bugatti, Lamborghini, Audi, Porsche, and Ducati?
These are the kind of questions I'm awful at. Ferrari?
No, even Happy Gilmore would tell you it's Volkswagen.
Oh, okay.
Ian, what Latin dance style is also the name of a group of rattlesnakes?
What Latin dance?
What Latin dance style is also the name for a group of rattlesnakes?
When you say a group, do you mean like multiple rattlesnakes or like a family of rattlesnakes?
Let me pause the timer and double check. I believe it's the name.
Like
I believe
like a genus or a group.
No, I believe it's the name of a group, but let me double check. Hold on one second. This is a collective name for a group of rattlesnakes.
Okay. Just based on the alliteration alone, I'm going to say a Roomba.
Roomba is correct.
Nice.
Mike, name one of the two alcoholic ingredients in a cocktail known as a French 75.
Oh, come on, Mott. Your wife gets these sometimes. What the hell? I think one of them is champagne.
Champagne is correct. The other would be gin.
It was gin. Okay, gin was also tickling something. Okay.
Ian, Stephen Hendry won 7 world championship titles from 1990 to 1999 in what game? I'll put it out there. I'm not saying sport here.
Okay. Steve Hendry. What game? World titles. That sounds like Sounds like it would be like darts or billiards, maybe bowling. I'm gonna say darts.
Oh, close. Snooker, actually.
Mm,
Mike,
hardly knew her.
in the classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas, what is the name of the Grinch's dog?
Max.
Max is correct. Ian, what bodily function was utilized by some Romans to help make their teeth whiter?
What bodily function? I knew they used urine to brush their teeth, if that's what you're looking for.
I'm never looking for urine, but I've got two dogs. It happens. Urine is a correct answer.
Mm.
Mike.
2 old dogs, too.
Don't knock it till you try it.
No, I will knock it well before I try it. Mike, Basic Enlisted Submarine School is a training course offered by which branch of the U.S. military?
The Navy?
Yeah, it's the dumbest question I ever wrote. Yeah. Followed shortly by this, Ian, what social media company's logo is inspired by a camera?
Instagram.
See, it does giveth and taketh away, y'all, I promise. Mike. John, Susan, Roger, and Titty are all central characters in what Arthur Ransom novel?
What?
John, Susan, Roger, and Titty are all central characters in what Arthur Ransom novel?
Arthur, what the I just, ugh. This is not giving me anything. Wow. John, Susan, somebody in the infamous Titty. Golly. Boxcar Kids. I got nothing.
No, this would be a novel called Swallows and Amazons. Ian, what type of light pastry dough is used to create profiteroles?
Chris, what's the matter with shoe?
Shoe. Correct answer. Nicely done. Mike, which Irish writer and clergyman wrote the novel Gulliver's Travels?
Jonathan Swift.
Okay, you got one of those literature questions right. There you go.
I feel slightly better. Yeah.
Ian, I believe that children are our future is a line from which 1986 song?
We Are the World.
No, that's Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. Mike, Spinner, Irrawaddy, and Dusky are all types of which ocean-dwelling mammal?
I'm sorry, you said spinner and my mind drifted. Can you repeat, please?
Spinner, Irrawaddy, Irrawaddy, and Dusky are all types of which ocean-dwelling mammal?
I mean, I feel like ocean-dwelling mammal is the 1 and 2 shot. I'm going to say whale.
Dolphin.
Ooh. Damn it. 50-50-90 rule, man.
Yeah. All right, our last question in the hot seat round 2. Ian, the Mississippi and the Missouri and the Big Sioux rivers form the east and west borders of what U.S. state?
That would be in Missouri.
No, it would be Iowa. Iowa is what we're looking for there.
And I'll be dead in the cold, cold ground before I count Missouri.
Well, I'm not gonna quibble with that, but I guess I should have thought about the complete borders. It forms part of the.
We will. We got some time right now. Let's go and let's do a quick check.
By saying the Sioux, then Iowa would be the answer.
I thought, if I'm not mistaken, I thought the Big Sioux was the northern part of Iowa. Is it not?
Oh, I got ahead of myself there.
Double checking. Ironically, when I type in Big Sioux into Google, the second option that comes up is the Big Sioux River. The first option is the Big Sioux Burger, and now I've got even more questions.
Yeah.
Make it cry.
Northwest corner, it is Iowa and looks like it's Iowa and South Dakota. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely
the northwest corner of Iowa. So Big Sioux does eliminate. All right, so coming out of hot seat round 2, Mike, you did narrow it. You're picking up 16. Ian, you're picking up 15. Your score is right now 36-39. Ian's got a 3-point lead.
I'll take it. I honestly thought he had expanded his lead. So,
and with that, we come to our final wager round. The wager round rules are simple. This is the only time where you're going to lose points for getting a question wrong, so wager appropriately. In the wager round, there's a couple of rules. One, you're wagering on the categories alone. So you'll get the categories, you'll lock in your wagers. Your total wagers must be whole numbers only. And you cannot exceed the total amount of points in what you have. But you can break up those points in any way, shape, or form that you want based on those 3 categories. We're going to jump right into this. Ian, Mike, are you ready for your categories?
absolutely.
Bring it on.
Let's do it.
Your categories are as follows. Category number 1 is geography. Category number 2 is science and the space race. Category number 3 is magazines. Geography, science and the space race, and magazines. Lock in your wagers now. All right. Wagers are locked in. We're going to go question by question through this. We're going to start with question number 1. Your category was geography. And I feel a little bit weird using this question, but we're going to go with it because I thought it was so much fun. What is the only country whose name can be spelled using a single row of a QWERTY keyboard? Assuming, of course, you remove the Republic of from the front of its official title.
Locked in.
I'm going to try and do this without looking down, but you said the only country? And that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. Locked in.
All right. Moving on to question number 2. Your category was science and the space race. TIROS 1, standing for Television Infrared Observation Satellites. It was put into lower Earth orbit back in 1960. It marks the first full-scale satellite built for what specific purpose? TIROS 1, standing for Television Infrared Observation Satellites, was put into lower Earth orbit back in 1960. It marks the first full-scale satellite built for what specific purpose?
I think I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm going to lock in.
All right. Moving on to question number 3. The category was magazines. Which weekly magazine that features a mix of journalism, essays, fiction, satire, cartoons, and poetry recently passed 100 years of existing back in February of 2025? This magazine's fact-checking was considered by many to be the gold standard.
Repeat, please.
Which weekly magazine that features a mix of journalism, essays, fiction, satire, cartoons, and poetry recently passed 100 years of existing back in February of 2025? This magazine's fact-checking was considered by many to be the gold standard.
I'll lock in.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and lock in.
All right. It's time to go question by question through this. We're going to start with question number 1. Category was geography. What is the only country that can be spelled using a single row on a QWERTY keyboard? Assuming, of course, that you remove the Republic of from the front of its official name. Mike, your answer and your wager.
So, geography being a notoriously weak point of mine, I almost jokingly texted you, fuck it, I'm all in on geography. And I wish I had, because this is very much Peru.
Ian, answer and wager. Oh, Mike, what was your wager? Sorry, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry, and but instead of going all in, I wagered 4.
Ian, answer and wager.
Yeah, Chris, I went with Peru, and 17 points is my wager.
All right, Peru, P-E-R-U, is a correct answer. You're going to pick up 17. Mike, you're picking up 4. Our scores right now going into question number 2. Ian has got a 56-40 lead. Question number 2. Your category was science and the space race. TIROS-1, standing for Television Infrared Observation Satellites, was put into lower Earth orbit back in 1960. It marks the first full-scale satellite built for what specific purpose? Ian, your answer and your wager.
Yeah, I'm decently confident on this one. I know one of the early satellites for not just research, for actual commercial use was a weather satellite. So I think this was for weather purposes, and I went with 20 points on this category.
Mike, your answer and your wager.
I kind of wish I'd thought of that. When I think of space race, I think of more Cold War type of things. So I did not know. I felt most confident on this one, but I forgot that the space race also involved non-manned things. So I went with spy. I went with spy satellite, and also forgot the category, which included science. So
yeah, it is a weather satellite. It launched in 1960. It's still in orbit today, but it hasn't worked in decades. All right. Our last question, your category was in magazines. Which weekly magazine that features a mix of journalism, essays, fiction, satire, cartoons, and poetry recently passed 100 years of existing back in February of 2025? This magazine's fact-checking was considered by many to be the gold standard. Mike, answer and wager.
I went with my final 12 on this one. Magazines was fairly open-ended, but could have gone either way. I said the New Yorker.
Ian, answer and wager.
I wagered 0 on this one. Wasn't going to be super confident in this category, but based on the clues, I also went with the New Yorker. If you asked me to tell you how old it was, I would have said it's a lot older than 100 years, but all those clues pointed towards New Yorker.
That's because New Yorker is a correct answer. And with that, Ian, you were going to pick up a 76-32 victory over Michael Thaddeus Mott. How do you feel?
Well, it feels good coming in my first time, and had a great opponent with Mike. He was toe-to-toe with me up until the end there, and kind of always how it is. You can win or lose in that last round. Just got to see what Chris deals you.
It's all what you do with those fake internet points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good game. That was a good game.
That was a good game. And Mike, being that you did take the loss tonight, you want to tell Ian what your revenge topic is?
Well, the silver lining to the loss, I'm actually really excited about my revenge topic because it's very topical given the recent best 80s movie bracket that we finally finished over on Boozy Bracketology just about 2 weeks ago as of this recording. I chose the movie Back to the Future, the movie series Back to the Future.
Ooh, the whole series. Lovely.
Well, I just told Chris Back to the Future. He very well might have isolated it to the first one. But...
So here's the fun part.
Uh-oh.
I did not write either of your revenge games.
Of course you didn't.
Your revenge games are courtesy of the lovely Brittany Shaw.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you, Brittany.
So we will see everybody on Friday for a Brittany's revenge game featuring Back to the Future. Gentlemen, did you have a good time tonight?
Definitely.
Had a blast.
We'll take it. If you're enjoying the show and you want to support the show, be like our friend Ian here. You can head on over to patreon.com/PTEBB. That's the best place to support the work the PTE network does and continue to drive you more content. If you can't afford to do that right now, I get it. It's a really trying times out there, really tough economy. 5-star rating, write us a review. It would mean the world to us. For the pub, check the show notes for all the rest of the information. It's all there. But experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Mike.
I'm still Ian.
We'll see you next week. Until then, have a good one.